Hello guys, and welcome back to the Advanced Terraform with Azure. We will talk about the variables today. And the Terraform variables, it's basically as any other variables in a programming language where you can parameterize your code. In our case, our code is our infrastructure code. So by using variables, you can define some reusable and dynamic values that can be passed during the runtime or override by users, for example. So Terraform support several types of variables, including like string, numbers, list, and maps. And basically, you can go to Terraform documentation and see what type of they support. For example, there is basically a couple of type of variables. There is input variables and output and local variables, and we will discuss them. But right now we're talking about the input variables, and the input variables is you see you have string, number, boolean, list, set, map, object, tuple. So in this particular example, we will play with the resource provider Azure Resource Manager, and we are going to use the resource group as an example to play with the variables. So as you can see in main TF file, we have the resource group, and inside of the resource group, we have three variables: location, name, and var. In tags. And each parameter is allocated to variable, and the way how you can allocate this, you have to put the var, then dot, and the name of the variable which you want. So where this variable defined? So this variable defined usually in variables.tf file. So if I open the variables.tf file, in that file, we can define the type of the variables, description, or even like default value. We can also pass this default value. In that case, the Terraform will not ask us to provide the value. But usually you just define that variables in variables.tf file, and then using another file which is called tf-vars, you declare the variables. So again, in main file, you provide the instruction to Terraform which variables you want to use. Okay, in variables.tf file, you declare the variables, their type, and provide some additional information like description or default, for example, values. And in tf-vars file, you provide the actual value of this variable. So let's see how it works. So if I will uncomment this portion, we see that there is a name, location, and tag, and we have the values. Okay, let's save it like my group, location, cost center HR, and department finance. If I will run Terraform plan now, the Terraform basically is able to identify that we have the variables in tf-var files. I mean, we have the value of our variables in tf-var file, and he just put the variables here. You see the location is US2, the name will be my group, and the cost center HR and finance. Okay, but let's say we don't have this, right? So we just comment this, and let me run the Terraform again, Terraform plan. In that case, because Terraform didn't find any variables, he asked us to manually enter them. So let's just enter the manual. Okay, my group, and tag, it will be this object. Okay, and as you can see, we will get exactly the same result. Okay, Also, what you can do, you can specify the variables in as a parameter for your Terraform command, like Terraform plan, init, or apply. You can specify the variables itself. Let me just run it. And it will work exactly the same. So we'll have my group, location, and cost center exactly the same. The only things which you need to pay attention on this, if you will use the some variables like tag, for example, and inside of the tag variable you will have these double quotes. So here the double quotes, right? You just need to wrap it all the variables in a single quote. Just pay attention on this, that you cannot have the double quotes here and double quotes here. So, okay. Another way how you can define the variables is environment variables. So let me run echo tfvar name, and you see I have 0. There is nothing there. And the way how Terraform is looking to the environment variables is he's looking for tf_var_ prefix. So using this prefix, Terraform is able to identify that this is a variable related to the Terraform, and he needs to take the latest part of the underscore and use as a key for variables. So you see it's a name, it's location, and is US, and so on. So let me just take these variables and apply. So right now, if I do echo tvar name, I have my group. And now if I run Terraform plan, so even if we did not specify any variables here, you see all lines are comment. So Terraform is able to pick up these variables because it's environment variables. And based on that, we understand that we have different ways to set up the variables and which way we can choose. Basically, it depends on your application. You can choose any way, but what you need to know for sure is variable priorities. So here is the priorities, how Terraform will look to their variables. So he will look into environment variables, then tfvar files, then tfvar JSON, then after tfvars, and after that he will take the var or var file as a parameter for Terraform command. So var file is basically you can have the variable file somewhere, and you can specify a Terraform plan, for example, var files, and then pass to this file, and Terraform will take the value, will take the variables from this file. So let's do some experiments. So as for now, in environment variables, we have my group, right? Let's modify the tfvar files to something like, we will uncomment name and say, okay, this is new, right? Okay, save it. And now we'll run Terraform plan. So right now we did combination. One variable was defined in tfvar files, and other variables were defined in environment variables. And you see the Terraform took the variables which is defined in tfvars file. So the variable is my name, even if our environment variable has a like value my group. So this is priority means. So basically tfvars will override the environment variables. tfvars JSON will override this one. Afterwards will override the previous one. And the last one, the parameters which you passed into CLI like this, will override any of these variables. So yeah, let's just maybe, maybe just run it to see how it goes. We will create the resource group, and I'm using Terraform apply and after approve, so I don't want to say yes. So okay, one resource was added. If we go to the resource group and refreshed, it will take maybe 30 seconds or something. Okay, yeah, and you see my group new. So we have new my group was created. We have our tags, cost center, department finance, and we have our location US, because US was defined in environment variables here, not US2. So yeah, pay attention on the priority of the variables, and we will come back to the variables to add a little bit more examples with the number, list, map, and so on, and specifically in Azure resources where we use different types. Thank you so much, and good luck with Terraform.